Welcome back to the Valley High School Football Preview Show as we continue to get you ready for the 2021 high school football season. And we're happy to be joined by the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, Greg Tepper, joins us from Lewisville, Texas. Greg, how are you as you get ready for this 2021 season?
My man, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Football is right around the corner, and I'm just excited to lace them up and get out there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, let's get right to it. We'll do a couple of segments with you here. We'll start with 16-5A. Obviously, the 5A districts went through a lot of changes last year with the McAllens dropping down into 5A. That made things certainly interesting. And the other thing that kind of changed as well is on the coaching front. Brownsville Veterans made a change. Kelly Lee is the new head coach there after David Cantu moved to Los Fresnos. Bill Littleton retired over at McAllen Memorial. Which of those two coaches, as Moses Patterson takes over there, do you think will have the greatest impact right away?
You know, obviously, whenever you lose a coach of the stature of Bill Littleton, that's going to be noteworthy. And there's going to be some big changes, I think, that Coach Patterson brings in there. It's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. But I'm very interested in Brownsville Vets. Coach Lee, of course, coming over from Eastern New Mexico. You just don't see a lot of college coaches leave college to come to high school. And he brings with him a unique offense. They call it the ground strike, right? They're going to run the ball really, really effectively. And I think they have an opportunity to really take a leap early. I think that there's a lot of pieces in place here. Big offensive lineman and Joe Perez leading the way. The defense, led by William Weston, is going to be, I think, really strong. I think Brownsville Vets has an opportunity to make that leap early. It may not take that 1 or 2 years that we're used to seeing when coaches take over a program.
How do you think this shakes out this year?
I think Weslaco East is your favorite. I think that they deserve that based on what they did last year. And then you look at McAllen Memorial, I think they're right there with them as well. I'm excited to see what they're able to do. But Weslaco East, I think, has to be the favorite, especially if Javi Garcia, their new quarterback, or Javi Garza, rather, their new quarterback, can step up in a big way. You know, that 3 through 6 spot is a real jumble. A lot of it depends on how quickly Brownsville Vets gets up to speed, how quickly La Jolla gets up to speed. For now, I like Rowe and Pace to grab the 3 and 4 spots, but I also think McAllen High could be in that mix as well. I think that you've got those top 2 with Weslaco East and McAllen Memorial, but then I think those next 4 or 5 teams are really tightly knit, and it could go any which way. For now, I'd go with Rowe and Pace.
All right, let's switch gears to 16-5A Division II. This was the district everyone in the state was paying attention to last year because of Eddie Lee Marburger and what Sherryland Pioneer did, going all the way to the 4th round and threatening to even make it to the state semifinals. Very different team. They graduated a ton of seniors. Eddie Lee Marburger is now eating at UTSA. Can Pioneer stay the course and still have a successful season, Greg?
Okay, so let me just say this. I think that losing a superstar quarterback like Eddie Lee Marburger is bad. You probably shouldn't do it, but I also don't think that the bottom's going to fall out of this Pioneer program because I think that they've laid the foundation really well. I think having Joseph Graham Jr. at the wide receiver spot is huge for whoever takes over at the under center. I don't think that this is a situation where the star quarterback leaves and they just go absolutely to the basement. I think that there's going to be some struggles early, especially as they figure out who's going to be that trigger man in this offense. And, as they get to know, Coach Galindo and understand what he's all about. But that said, I think Pioneer, if you think they're going away, I think you're mistaken. They are going to be around, and I think they're going to be in the mix this year.
This top of the district is going to be tough. With the other team that made some noise at 7-on-7 this year was Mercedes. They got a tough draw at College Station, but in the consolation bracket, they made some noise, advancing a few rounds. They've got their quarterback back, and Roger Adame seems to have the team to beat this year. That's what everyone down here is thinking. Do you guys think the same?
I think really highly of Mercedes. They're my favorite to win the district, and it's because of the triumvirate they have on the offense with Michael Cisneros at quarterback, Miguel Jimenez at the running back spot, and then their top receiver in Tyrell Trevino, all back in the mix. I think that's going to really serve them well, especially early. Look, in a district like this where you got to be ready as soon as possible because these games are going to matter really quickly. Mercedes is my early favorite to win this district. I think having a 3-year starter at the quarterback spot in Cisneros is huge. I think the Tigers are probably starting at least in the pole position in 16-5 AD2.
So let's break down the 2 through 4. Do we think Mission Veterans 2, and how do 3 and 4 shake out?
Yeah, I'll probably, I'd even give the edge to Pioneer maybe in second. Maybe that's just what they've earned from last year and get the benefit of the doubt there. Mission Vets, I do think is probably in that 2 to 3 mix. I think that they are back in the mix. For now, the fourth spot, which I do think is up in the air, I'm going to give it to La Máquina Amarilla. I'm going to go with Edcal Chelsea. I think that they're the favorite to get that fourth spot. They have some holes to fill, but I think that defense has an opportunity to maybe be the best in the district with Nico Herrera and Alexis Rodriguez. I like the Yellow Jackets from Edcal Chelsea to get that fourth spot, but I think that Sharyland is probably the chief challenger to that spot there.
He's Greg Tepper. He's the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, the Bible of Texas football. Greg, you're going to be joining us here in a little bit. We're going to talk to 6A districts here down in the Rio Grande Valley. That's coming up next. The Valley High School football preview continues in a little bit.